Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Time. It's the one thing that stops for no one, not even Hollywood's biggest stars. And sometimes it takes just one photograph to remind us how quickly the world changes around us. Today, that photograph features a little girl who's been living her life away from the spotlight, protected by two of entertainment's most beloved figures. But when that rare glimpse into her world surfaced, fans across the globe couldn't believe their eyes. Welcome back to Starwire Daily, where the glamour never sleeps and the stories never stop. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a moment that has the internet buzzing, hearts melting, and time itself feeling like it's moving at light speed. You're scrolling through your social media feed, maybe sipping your morning coffee, when suddenly you stop dead in your tracks. There she is, Daisy Dove Bloom, the daughter of pop royalty Katy Perry and Hollywood heartthrob Orlando Bloom, and she looks completely different from the last time we caught a glimpse of her. But before we unpack this jaw-dropping moment that has everyone talking, let's take a journey back to where it all began. Because to truly understand why this single photograph has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, we need to understand the extraordinary love story that brought this little miracle into existence. It was 2016 when the universe decided to play Cupid with two of the most unlikely soulmates. Katy Perry, fresh off her transformation from gospel singer to pop sensation, was navigating the choppy waters of her very public divorce from Russell Brand. Meanwhile, Orlando Bloom was carving his own path through Hollywood, balancing his career with co-parenting his son Flynn with ex-wife Miranda Kerr. They met at a Golden Globes afterparty, of all places. Not on a movie set, not through mutual friends planning some elaborate setup, but in that chaotic, champagne-soaked atmosphere where Hollywood's elite gather to celebrate another year of storytelling magic. The chemistry was immediate, undeniable, and absolutely electric. But this wasn't your typical Hollywood romance that burns bright and fast before crashing into tabloid headlines. No, this was something deeper, something real. Orlando later revealed in interviews that Katy challenged him in ways he'd never experienced. She pushed him to be more spiritual, more grounded, while he encouraged her to embrace vulnerability in her art. Their relationship played out like a modern fairy tale, complete with dramatic breakups, soul-searching separations, and ultimately, a love that conquered all obstacles. They separated briefly in 2017, and fans watched as both stars seemed lost without each other. Katy's music during this period reflected a woman searching for meaning, while Orlando threw himself into his work with an intensity that spoke volumes. But love, real love, it has a way of finding its way back home. By early 2018, they were spotted together again, and this time, something was different. The paparazzi photos showed two people who had done the work on themselves, who had grown individually and were ready to build something beautiful together. The proposal came on Valentine's Day 2019 in the most Orlando Bloom way possible. Picture this, a helicopter ride over Los Angeles, rose petals scattered everywhere, and a ring that took your breath away even through grainy paparazzi photos. Katy shared the moment with the world through a simple Instagram post, but the emotion behind that single image told 1,000 stories. Then came 2020, and with it, news that would change everything. Katy was pregnant. But this wasn't just any pregnancy announcement. This was a masterclass in how to control your narrative in the age of social media. She revealed her growing bump in her never-worn white music video, simultaneously giving fans new music and the biggest news of her life. The pregnancy journey wasn't easy. Katy was open about her struggles with depression during this time, about the fear of bringing a child into an uncertain world, about the pressure of being a public figure carrying such precious cargo. Orlando became her anchor, her protector, her unwavering support system. And then, on August 26th, 2020, Daisy Dove Bloom entered the world, and everything changed. The name itself tells a story. Daisy, Orlando's choice, inspired by his love for flowers and nature. Dove, Katy's selection, representing the peace and love she hoped to bring into the world. Together, Daisy Dove became not just a name, but a symbol of hope in one of humanity's darkest years. But here's where Katy and Orlando made a decision that set them apart from so many other celebrity parents. They chose privacy over publicity, protection over profit. While other stars were sharing every milestone, every cute outfit, every adorable moment, the Bloomberry household went quiet. Sure, we caught glimpses. A tiny hand in the corner of a birthday post. A blur of movement in the background of an Instagram story. The back of a small head during a family beach day, captured by long-lens photographers. But Katy and Orlando were fierce in their protection of their daughter's identity and childhood. This wasn't about being secretive for the sake of drama. This was about two parents who understood, perhaps better than most, the price of fame. Katy had grown up in the spotlight, watching her every move dissected by millions. Orlando had navigated child stardom and knew the unique challenges it brings. They wanted something different for Daisy. And for nearly 4 years, they succeeded. Daisy Dove Bloom became Hollywood's most protected little secret. We knew she existed. We knew she was loved beyond measure. But she remained beautifully, blessedly mysterious. Which brings us to that moment, that photograph, that single image that has everyone talking today. It appeared without warning on Katy's Instagram story, shared and then quickly deleted, but not before eagle-eyed fans captured screenshots that spread across social media like wildfire. There she was, Daisy Dove, and she looked absolutely nothing like the toddler we occasionally glimpsed in heavily filtered or strategically cropped photos. At nearly 4 years old, Daisy has transformed from the chubby-cheeked baby we remember into a stunning little girl with features that are unmistakably a perfect blend of both her famous parents. She has Katy's expressive eyes, those windows to the soul that have captivated audiences for over a decade. But she's inherited Orlando's bone structure, that elegant, almost ethereal quality that made him perfect for roles like Legolas. The photo, taken during what appeared to be a private family moment at their Montecito estate, shows Daisy playing in the garden, completely unaware that this candid moment would soon have the internet in a complete meltdown. She's wearing a simple sundress, her hair catching the California sunlight in a way that seems almost magical. But it's not just her appearance that has fans stunned. It's the realization of how much time has passed, how much we've missed, and how this little girl has been growing up completely outside the public eye while her parents have continued to dominate headlines. Think about it. In the time since Daisy was born, Katy has released new music, served as a judge on American Idol, and continued her evolution as both an artist and activist. Orlando has starred in major productions, from Carnival Row to his return to Middle-earth with Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. They've been living their professional lives in full view of the public, while simultaneously creating this beautiful, protected bubble for their daughter. Sources close to the family. And yes, even the most private celebrities have friends who occasionally share insights. Tell us that Daisy is a remarkable little girl. She's apparently inherited her mother's musical abilities, often found singing around the house, creating her own little compositions on toy keyboards. But she's also got her father's adventurous spirit, fearlessly climbing trees and exploring every corner of their expansive property. One particularly charming detail that emerged from a recent interview is that Daisy has no real concept of her parents' fame. To her, Mommy is just the lady who sings songs and Daddy is the guy who sometimes has to travel for work. The normalcy they've created within their extraordinary lives is perhaps their greatest achievement as parents. But this photograph, this single moment of candid beauty, has opened up larger conversations about celebrity children and privacy in the digital age. Comment sections are flooded with debates about whether Katy was right to share even this brief glimpse, or whether she should have kept this moment private as well. The reality is, we live in a world where privacy is increasingly rare, especially for public figures. Every outing, every vacation, every family moment becomes potential content for entertainment media. Katy and Orlando's approach represents a different philosophy. That childhood should be sacred, that growing up should happen without the weight of public scrutiny. And yet, There's something beautiful about this rare glimpse into their world. It reminds us that behind the red carpets and award shows, behind the concert tours and movie premieres, these are real people building real lives together. Daisy isn't just a celebrity baby. She's a little girl who giggles at her daddy's silly faces and helps her mommy in the garden. The response to this photograph has been overwhelming in the best possible way. Fans aren't demanding more photos or criticizing the family's privacy choices. Instead, the comments are filled with respect, admiration, and genuine joy at seeing this glimpse of happiness. "She looks just like Orlando," writes one fan. "But she has Katy's smile," responds another. The comparisons are endless and endearing, each person seeing different combinations of her famous parents in her young face. What strikes me most about this entire situation is how it reflects the evolution of celebrity culture. 20 years ago, this photograph would have spawned magazine covers, paparazzi stakeouts, and invasive speculation about everything from Daisy's personality to her future career prospects. Today, while the interest is certainly there, the conversation feels more respectful, more aware of boundaries. Perhaps it's because Katy and Orlando have been so consistent in their approach. They haven't played games with their daughter's privacy, occasionally sharing photos for attention before pulling back. They've maintained clear, consistent boundaries that even the most dedicated fans have learned to respect. Or maybe it's because both parents have been so open about their own journeys, their struggles and triumphs, that fans feel genuinely invested in their happiness rather than just their drama. When you've watched Katy navigate public heartbreak and personal growth, when you've seen Orlando balance career ambitions with devoted fatherhood to Flynn, you want their story to have a happy ending. And Daisy, she represents that happy ending in its purest form. As I was preparing for today's episode, I couldn't stop thinking about time and how differently it moves for different people. For us, watching from the outside, it feels like Daisy was just born yesterday. But for Katy and Orlando, they've lived through nearly 4 years of first words, first steps, bedtime stories, and all those precious moments that make up a childhood. They've been dealing with tantrums and tea parties while we've been analyzing their red carpet appearances. They've been teaching alphabet songs while we've been dissecting their relationship milestones. In many ways, they've been living the most normal life possible within the most extraordinary circumstances. This photograph also comes at an interesting time in both of their careers. Katy is currently in what many consider a renaissance period, with new music that reflects her journey into motherhood and her continued evolution as an artist. Orlando is busier than ever, with multiple projects showcasing his range beyond the action heroes that made him famous. But perhaps most importantly, they seem to have found that elusive balance that so many celebrity couples struggle to achieve. They're succeeding professionally while prioritizing their family, maintaining their individual identities while building something beautiful together. The photograph of Daisy, accidental or intentional, serves as a reminder of what really matters. In a world obsessed with social media metrics, box office numbers, and chart positions, sometimes the most important moments are the ones that happen when nobody's watching. Except, of course, somebody is always watching when you're Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, which makes their commitment to protecting Daisy's childhood even more admirable. Every family outing requires security considerations. Every playdate needs to be carefully planned. Every moment of spontaneity becomes a calculated risk. Yet they continue to choose love over convenience, privacy over publicity, family over fame. And that photograph of Daisy, growing up so beautifully in this protected space they've created, is proof that their approach is working. As the image continues to circulate and fans continue to share their joy at this rare glimpse, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just about a celebrity child looking adorable. This is about respect, boundaries, and the recognition that some things are more important than entertainment value. Daisy Dove Bloom may be growing up in the spotlight shadow, but she's doing so surrounded by love, protection, and parents who understand that childhood is precious and fleeting. This single photograph reminds us of that truth, while also giving us hope that it's possible to be famous and still prioritize what truly matters. Time keeps moving, and Daisy will continue to grow, probably faster than any of us are prepared for. But for now, in this moment, we have this beautiful glimpse into a family that has figured out how to make extraordinary circumstances feel wonderfully ordinary. And maybe that's the most stunning thing of all. That's our deep dive for today, beautiful people. What did you think of this rare glimpse into the Bloom Perry family life? Are you team respect their privacy? Or do you wish we could see more of little Daisy growing up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your perspectives on these stories that touch our hearts. If this story reminded you why you fell in love with this celebrity power couple in the first place, show some love with that like button. And if you're ready for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood magic, stories that go beyond the headlines and deep dives into the lives that fascinate us all, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because we've got so much more coming your way. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep loving, and remember, the most beautiful stories are often the ones happening when nobody's watching. This is Star Wire Daily, and I'll see you in the next one.